I'm Leonard Riggs, and this is my podcast. From my head to your ears, my first podcast of 2026. I usually do it a little after midnight, but last night I just couldn't do it. I was so tired. I worked New Year's Eve day, and I just couldn't stay awake. So I tried, but I thought, why don't I get a good night's sleep and try again in the daytime? It's not I straying from my tradition that I was trying to start, but let's just make the tradition a New Year's Day podcast. So, let's leave it at that, because I never know how I'm going to be feeling anymore. It was a struggle to stay awake till midnight, and that was the first time I ever struggled to stay awake that late. No, I was tired, I was grouchy, I was yelling at my cats. And yes, my, smoke alarm is still tweeting. My cousin Scott, offered to help me with that, but I don't want to let him in my house because it's in a state of disarray. And, he's like my dad. I love my cousin Scott. Shout out to my cousin Scott Riggs. I love you, man. Anyway, I'm going to take a break and I'm going to talk about everything 2025 and, what I feel about 2026. I'll be right back. I'm Leonard Riggs. This is my podcast. From my head to your ears. Oh, enjoy my new theme song. Here it is. Well, it's not my new theme song. It's my special theme song for this particular podcast. How's that? All right. Anyway, I'll be right back.
Counting down the days, watching clocks spin around. Lights are in the hallway, tears have never made a sound. Every New Year's promise, every midnight wish, we're just chasing moments, trying not to miss. From my head to your ears, I'm sending it all. Every joy, every doubt, every stumble, every fall, 2026.
I'm Leonard Riggs, and this is my podcast. From my head to your ears, and I'm talking about 2025 and what I feel about 2026. So, I guess, where do I start? I guess I start from the beginning of 2025. Anytime you get a new year, it's a big old blank mystery staring ahead at you. I often kind of liken it to the ghost of Christmas Future, or Christmas is Yet to Be on A Christmas Carol, the dark figure with the black kind of blank face, because we just don't know. And it's very dark to me. And I wish it could be a wonderful light, warm light, but it just, as you get older and you start losing people, and it becomes a little less exciting to get a new year. I guess I'm more excited about getting closer to retirement age, but in this economy, who knows when that'll even be for me. I don't want to be all negative and stuff in my podcast. I honestly want to start being a little more positive in my life, but it's hard to do when you're just not feeling good and things seem really bleak. And I'm going to be honest with you, right now in my life, things are very bleak. I've got some health issues, which we're trying to figure out what's causing it. My iron's very low and I'm very tired all the time still. I'm getting iron infusions and they're just not really seemingly helping me much. And I've got to go for a colonoscopy. I'm just going to be blunt to see if that might be where the problem is. And, anyway, I found going through my infusions that a lot of people suffer from this. low iron thing. It's kind of strange, actually. I tell you, I'm so tired sometimes I just fall asleep. And right now I'm suffering with severe leg cramps and my knees are hurting and I'm having a hard time standing on my feet through my shifts. And my legs are discolored. So yeah, I'm a borderline diabetic. I've put on a lot of weight. I often wonder if 98% of my problem isn't the overweight situation, which I tell you, everybody, is on to me about losing weight, but ultimately it's up to me, and I've got to find that, desire to lose weight. Otherwise you're not going to stick with it. I often use food as a, kind of a security blanket. And, I'm certainly not going on a diet today. I'm going to have chili and cornbread later. I had pizza last night, but, I have done this. I have lost weight before. I've done a very good job. When I hit 50 around that time, I lost quite a bit of weight, 150 to 200 pounds I lost. And I did it by walking and exercising and eating better. And boy, you would think it would be such a no-brainer to want to be healthy. But I don't know what gets in your head that makes you want to just eat. But that's where I am right now. So anyway, that's covering the negative aspect. And my financial situation. Let's not even talk about that. But who isn't struggling right now, right? So I'm not alone in that. I don't feel sorry for myself. Every problem I have, I created on my own. Nobody is to blame but myself. That's absolutely true. I'm not feeling sorry for myself. I've made a big mess and I'm staring at it every day, and I got to figure out how to muddle through it. And as my cousin said, I do have to have help. I can't do it by myself because I am a little overwhelmed, but I at least need to clean a path for myself so I can get help. It's all up to me. It's all up to all of us to take care of ourselves. Do not blame when it comes to your life. I'm trying to think. Little kids can't help how crappy their life is. That's a shame. But I'm a grown man, and every mess I've made is my responsibility. So if I've got any younger listeners out there, you probably, if someone ruined your life, maybe you had a bad parent or, parents that didn't care, or, something like that, or you're being picked on or bullied. That isn't your fault. That I want to clear that up real quick. You can't help that. But what you can do is try to find positive outlets for your frustration. I've said this over and over and over. Just go to your creative side, exercise, lift weights, do something positive for yourself. Find your happy place. And that's one thing I have done, and it's taken me many, many years, and I have collected things that are in my happy place that I can go to make me happy, even if it's just for a minute. It's music, it's movies, it's memories, it's these little warm things that make you realize your life wasn't so bad and there were great moments. And, so I just wanted to say that as an adult, 99% of the things you do are your fault. But as a child, you're being molded and you're being guided, and 99% of the times it's not your fault. So anyway, that's how I feel anyway. But going back to my original subject, I think my last podcast, I was all over the map, and I did just have a cup of coffee. So I'm just kind of blah, 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 blah. I know. And it's kind of the new year, and kind of the new year. It really is the new year. And I'm kind of doing this as I go along, so that's why sometimes I jump from subject to subject. But you are yourself, and you got to find your own path in life to a better life, and don't get frustrated. And it's all those old sayings didn't last all these years because they weren't true. Try it. If at first you don't succeed, try again. And this too shall pass. They're all true. I'm not going to say you get through one problem and then pops up another one. That does happen. But, you just got to keep moving forward. And, as I sit here on January 1st, 2026, I'm looking around at this mess I've made for myself, and I hope I can get through my health problems and get through my financial problems and get this house clean, and maybe next year I'll be in a better place than I am this year. And that's the way I'm going to proceed. I'm going to take a break and gather my thoughts, and I'm going to talk about 2025 and all that it was. I'm Leonard Riggs. This is my podcast, From My Head to Your Ears. I'll be right back. I'm Leonard Riggs, and this is my podcast, From My Head to Your Ears, the first 2026 podcast, and I'm celebrating the year that was 2025 and the year that it now is 2026. 2025 was a year of changes, drastic changes. My boss, Diana, had to retire due to health issues. Her kidneys had failed. She needed a kidney transplant. She put in for retirement and retired in, I believe it was April. I think so. March or April. And, a week before she was set to retire officially, she received a call and got a kidney transplant, which was amazing. And she was doing quite well. And that's wonderful news. Wonderful, wonderful news. And she had been training her replacement, who is a longtime friend of mine, and a sweetheart and a good worker, and trained her really well. And she's doing a wonderful job. And I think she really likes her job for the most part. And she's a great boss. And like I said, she was trained very well, my friend Judy. And, work wise, that's been wonderful. And then there's, the sad points of life as you have it. My longtime co-worker and friend and other mother, Wilma, and I paid tribute to her earlier in the year when she passed away. I think she taught me everything I knew at work, and she was my protector at work. She fiercely protected me, and oftentimes when we had to, kind of take care of ourselves, she wasn't scared of nothing. She'd go right up to the head honchos and, demand to know why this was this and that was that. And she would always include me in it. And, she took good care of me, and she is very missed and, a huge loss. My friend Richard Elder also passed, been friends for many, many years, and, he fell into ill health and passed away this year. We were kind of down to just talking on Facebook Messenger because he lived a few towns back, and, he didn't get out much. And his niece, who was taking care of him, informed me that he had passed. That was last February. And that was two significant deaths in my life. And honestly, right now, my Aunt Marge passed away this week, or in the last week, Christmas Eve. She was 98 years old, and my mom's oldest sister, and she had Alzheimer's. And I was just thinking about her when I found that she had passed. And I didn't get to go to her funeral yesterday because I had to work, and it was up by St. Louis, so I'm quite a bit of ways. So that was three major blows this year. My great niece Becca got married and is having a baby. She got married in November. That was wonderful. I went to her wedding, had a great time with my nephews Eric and Randy. Randy being her dad, and just had the best time. And my niece-in-law Melinda and Terry Don and Nick, my great nephew, and just a great day, and thoroughly enjoyed it. Once again, we tried to go Christmas caroling this year, and last year we were thwarted by the torrential rain. This year it got really, really cold, and we just couldn't do it. It was too cold. And I told Bradford, who is kind of hosting the event, I said, maybe by the time we actually get to go Christmas caroling again, you'll be singing for me as an elderly shut-in. I hope not, but that's that. The big thing I remember about this year too was the drought of the summer. We were getting lots of rain, and it was cool and kind of miserable and dreary through the months of March and April and May, all the way to the end of May, and the weather just suddenly changed to humid and hot and sunny, which it stayed around way too long. We barely had any rain this last summer here in Southern Illinois, and I think we're still in a deficit with rain. It's awful. And I hate heat and humidity. Hate it with a passion. Of course, that's the one that lingered on. And as a matter of fact, Christmas Day here, it was pushing 80 degrees. It was very bizarre. But that having been said, this hasn't been a horrible year. It's just been a year. That's about all I can say about that. We're still, like I said, we're still in a deficit for rain. We did have a covering snow earlier in the month, I think, which was weird. And then we ended up having one of the warmest Christmases ever. This is Southern Illinois. If you don't like the weather, stick around. It'll change. You get just a nice variety of weather here. You just never know. I'm going to take a break, and I'm going to talk about 2026 and what I hope it holds. I'm Leonard Riggs. This is my podcast, From My Head to Your Ears. I'm Leonard Riggs, and this is my podcast, From My Head to Your Ears, and I'm talking about 2025 and the new year 2026. And oh boy, 2026 is that big old mystery year. Every new year is a mystery. And the things I hope for, I hope my health gets better. I hope we figure out what's going on with me. In fact, a while ago I was recording this podcast and fell asleep and had to start all over again. I don't know how long I was asleep for. Anyway, that's kind of why I'm wrapping this up. I'm like running out of maybe I need to get another cup of coffee. I don't know. My health, I hope my health gets better. I hope to finish my catio, my home project, get my house lined out. It would be so nice to come home to at least a resemblance of what I want this house to be. I can't wait till that's done. I don't know. I used to look forward to movies and television, but there's really nothing I care about that much anymore. All my stuff is kind of in the past as far as music and movies. don't like a lot of new stuff. I would hope a great album comes out this year that I can enjoy the heck out of, or a new movie that's exciting. But we'll see about that. Who knows? Maybe it'll happen, and maybe it won't. But yeah, I'm glad that my family's right now feeling okay, and they're all working. So yeah, I am actually falling asleep again. Like I said, I would love to feel better, get that spark back in my life, and lose some weight and be me again. That's what I'm hoping. I don't have a lot to say about 2026 other than I just want to feel better. So I'm going to take a break and I'm going to wrap this up. I'm Leonard Riggs. This is my podcast, From My Head to Your Ears.
From my head to your ears, I'll be right back. Riding on a midnight groove, no need to pack. Thoughts spinning like vinyl, the needle drops low. Every beat a secret only you'll know.
I'm Leonard Riggs, and this is my podcast, From My Head to Your Ears, my Happy New Year 2026 podcast. I'm pretty well covered everything, I think, and I'm going to wrap this up because I'm falling asleep. So it's funny, but it's not funny. Thank you all for listening, and I look forward to doing more podcasts this year. Hopefully, I start feeling better, like I said, and I'd like to do more than I did last year. But it's hard to come up with ideas, and then a lot of times I just don't feel like it. And I had a lot of trouble with my voice this year too, with allergies and things. Excuse me. So anyway, happy 2026, and may the year bring good news and good health and everything good to your life. And we all deserve a better year, I think, than we've been having. I love you all. Thank you for listening. And, I'm Leonard Riggs, and this is my podcast, From My Head to Your Ears. I'll be back for more in a little while. Take care.
From my head to your ears, can you hear me now? Every hope, every fear, I'm letting it out somehow. Counting down the days, watching clocks spin around. Lights are in the hallway, tears that never made a sound. Every New Year's promise, every midnight wish, we're just chasing moments, trying not to miss. From my head to your ears, I'm sending it all. Every joy, every doubt, every stumble, every fall. 22 sides, teach your mystery, waiting to unfold. Will you bring me silver? Will you bring me gold? Day by day we're changing, can you see it too? Old photos in the drawer, but these dreams feel new. Growing up together, going braver with the years, learning from the laughter, healing from the tears. From my head to your ears, I'm sending it all. Every joy, every doubt, every stumble, every fall. Turning the tide, seems you're a mystery, waiting to unfold. Will you bring me silver, or will you bring the stories yet untold. From my head to your ears, let's see what the future holds.